The West Highland Way is a 96-mile long hike starting from the north of Glasgow, Mullingarvey, running all the way through to Fort Williams in the Scottish Highlands. It's estimated to take around 6 to 8 days, which is pretty bang on for me, I reckon. I'm going it solo, so I will naturally be quicker, but also I do want to take a lot of stop-offs to do me wild swimming and all that good stuff. So yeah, 6 to 8 days I'm thinking is pretty bang on. But anyways, in this video, what I want to focus purely on is my kit list. What I'm taking, how much it weighs. There's potentially the odd controversial thing in here. I'll let you be the decider of that. Alright, so the backpack itself is the Osprey Kestrel 48 litre. I think 48 litres is that sweet spot for me anyways. It means I kind of get too carried away and overpack, but it's just enough to get all the essentials I need for a long hike. Now, I have done a slight modification on the pack itself. The Osprey bags are really good. They have a lot of adjustment points, so you can tighten it up or loosen it up to fine tune it and get it really comfortable. But what comes along with that is a lot of loose straps just dangling, and it doesn't look too pretty and they get in the way and that. So what I've done, because I never pull these straps out to the full length, is I've just rolled the ends up slightly and put a cable tie on the ends there just to tighten it up, tidy it up, and it's worked really well. So all these adjustment points, pretty much all of them, have been rolled up and put a cable tie on there, and it works really good. That's the rucksack that I'll be using. It's tried and tested. I know this will do the job perfectly fine. On the outside of the bag, I've got, first up, just a bandana. I'll be taking a lot of washes. Like I said, I'll be doing a lot of swimming, so that's my hygiene kit right there, bandana. On the underside, if you can see, I've got a shamag. Again, that'll be used primarily as a towel when I'm doing my swimming. I can dry off quickly. I could pack these on the inside of my bag, but I know fine well that they'll be in a constant state of wet, drying out, and then getting wet again. So I might as well just save the hassle and just let them live on the outside of the pack. Underneath that shamag, I've got the Thermarest Ridge Rest. It fits perfect there in between the hood of the bag and the body. It just means I can get extra stuff in the main compartment, and it's also really easy just to boom, unclip, get it out, and I've got myself a little seat there as well when I want to take my breaks. So that is the perfect place to be putting a foam mat. A lot of people think avoid the foam mats because of the bulk, but actually if you position it right on your backpack, that is really not taking up much extra space for me. On the bottom of the bag, if you can see that, I have the Snugpak Stratosphere. Now this is my most recent purchase, and I bought this for the trip itself. It's a tiny hooped bivvy. We'll get into a bit more detail of that itself. I'm going to pair it up with a tarp that's on the inside of my bag. But yeah, first impressions, really good. It's tiny, it's super lightweight, like so, all that good stuff. On the side pouches here, on the left hand side, my cooking system, pretty much. The Torx Titanium 750 milliliter cup, which I'll have my coffees in. We've got the clean canteen, 1.2 litre, and then we've just got another cut up bandana, just so there's no wiggle room, so it's nice and silent. And in the other side, the other pocket, is a gas canister. So yeah, I'll be taking the gas stove out with me for this trip. Nice and easy and quick. Okay, what I'll do is I'll remove everything we've just talked about, everything that's strapped to the outside of the bag, and we'll start getting into the contents on the inside. Next up, we'll go for the hood of the bag. It's got a nice big head on it, like myself, and in this top compartment, literally all I have in here is my waterproof gear. So we've got the Snugpak Enhanced Patrol Poncho. Now there's pros and cons with taking a poncho over your traditional top and bottom waterproofs. A few of the cons are it's not completely waterproof. Obviously exposing the bottom half of your leg so the water can get in there. In the high winds, it's going to be flapping about, blowing about, and it could be a bit annoying. And also it's quite baggy, so you could potentially trip over it a little bit or whatever. But why I've decided to take this is because I think the pros on this occasion, and especially combined with the rest of my kit, outweigh those cons. So the pros are, this is super easy just to chuck on if there's a bit of rain. I've found with a lot of my waterproof trousers that I've had in the past, they don't fit over my boots. I've got to take my boot off and then put them on and then tie my boot on, and it just takes time. I'm guessing they're not all like that, but the ones I've had experience with are. So it's quick and easy to put on. It's more breathable than traditional top and bottom waterproofs. Obviously it's a big bag you kind of wear and you look like a super ninja turtle or something when you're wearing this. It's kind of funny like, but gets the job done. Even though you're getting the bottom half wet, you accept that's going to happen. You are going to stay drier in some ways because you're not going to be sweating as much. Also, this will go over me rucksack as well. It covers me, covers the rucksack. So it's just a quick and easy, simple setup. I've weighed up the pros and cons and I'm happy with it. Like, so that's literally all I'm storing in that top compartment there. I can just pull it out in a rush, chuck it back in. If it's wet, it doesn't matter. You'll see on the inside I am lining it with a bin bag, so I can just chuck that in, soak and wet, and still the contents inside my bag is going to stay bone dry, touch wood. So on this backpack, it has a little semi-secret side pocket here, and in here I have my pegs. Now I've replaced these Snugpak Stratosphere pegs straight away. There didn't seem to be anything wrong with them, but I'm going for the tried and tested MSR groundhogs, along with a couple of extra ones. These are just from the DD Superlight Tarp. They're not great, but they'll get the job done. If I need any more pegs, I can just craft them up en route. And the other thing in here is a ridgeline. Like I said, I'll be pairing up that Snugpak Stratosphere with a tarp, so I've got my ridgeline and just a few extra bits of cordage in there, and that's it. That's that pocket. Now right down on the bottom of the pack, you've got two hip pockets. Like I said, this is what this pack is great for. It's got all these little compartments where you can just keep everything nice and organized. So in the first hip pocket, it's got lots and lots of snacks, as many as I could fit in. There we go, plenty of snacks. Hopefully I'll be able to stock up en route with more as I work my way through them. So that's a snack pocket. On the other side, this will be where my camera will be living. I'm using the GoPro Hero 10, and I'm just taking the little GoPro selfie stick or whatever you call it. So that'll live in there alongside my buff neck warmer, just for when you're up in the mountains and it gets a bit chilly, chuck that on. And lastly in here is my trusty Victorinox Huntsman. Okay, so if we open up the hood of the bag, you'll notice this mesh lining, and that is another pocket. And in here we've got the first aid kit, just a little thing, the usual stuff I take, plasters, wet wipes. Also in here, this is a running theme, these little Sealy bags. I find them really good. So I've got all my GoPro batteries in, and I've got some spare SD cards. I've went a little bit mad with the Sealy bag, so it's in a waterproof bag, in a waterproof bag. There we go. We've got some wires for the electrical equipment and the GoPro dual charger in there. Keep everything nice and charged. And the only other thing in here is toilet roll. Not just one chunk of toilet roll, two, because I always find on these trips this is the last thing you want to run out of. Like, so I've got double the amount of what I'll usually take. And also, as you're walking past the pubs in that along route, you can be a bit cheeky and stock up on a little bit more. There we go, toilet roll. Right, so the main compartment of the bag, you'll notice it comes with this tightener on here. I never bother with it, to be honest. I just fold it up and then boom, just for speed. I don't need to worry about tightening and closing that. Now I've set this main compartment into two separate compartments, so bear with me, I'll explain it in a second. But first of all, let's just take the top half of the main compartment out. So in here, first up, the tarp. Like I said, we're going to pair this up with the Stratosphere, and honestly I think this is going to be the ultimate setup. Obviously with the Stratosphere, the bivy bag, it's going to be very limited space. So on a trip like the West Highland Way, yes, I could use that and do the trip with that, but if it's raining like I'm expecting it to, it's going to be pretty miserable living in a little hooped bivvy for 7 days. So if it's sunny the whole time I'm there, I'll not even use this. I'm only going to get this out when it's really horrible conditions, and it just gives me a bit of breathing space. I can still record under some shelter, I can still cook up my food and everything. It's the DD Super Light tarp, so like it says on the box, it's super light. This is a setup that even after this trip I can see myself using a lot. So the Snugpak Stratosphere and the DD Super Light tarp, combine them together, I think I've got the ultimate setup there. Like, it's not tried and tested yet, we'll find out on this trip how well it works, but high expectations for the combination of those two there. Another thing what I like about carrying this double shelter setup is with the poncho, the rain poncho that we talked about earlier. For whatever reason, if that does fail and it's heavy winds or whatever and that rain is getting up on the inside, I've always got my tarp as a backup, just to hunker down, take shelter under here and let it blow over. And actually that'll take you from a miserable situation with the rain coming down and you're getting wet and you're out hiking along, to just sitting chilling under a tarp, loving life. So yeah, gives me a lot of flexibility bringing the two, and it's not really that much extra weight. So there we go, the tarp. We've also got, this will be my food bag. Now on my last video I said, and I went and got a few of these meals. Well, I've went back and I went all out and I've got a load of them. I think I've got 12 in total, so probably not enough to get me through the whole 7 days, but it's going to take a lot of pressure off me worrying about trying to find shops to restock up food, and it just means I can just be out in the mountains by myself, what I love doing. So yeah, I've committed to getting more of these. So this is quite heavy, so I'm placing this right by me back, put up like this right by me back. Apparently that's the best place to be putting your heavy loads. And then lastly in this top half is my Organiser. Now this is a proper budget little pencil case. I think it's from Wilko's for about 40 pence or something, and just all me little bits and bobs to keep tidy. I would have took me Vanquest Husky Organiser, but with this backpack being a 48 litre, I am quite restricted with space. And like I said, it's got all its little pockets and compartments, so you can keep things nice and organised. I don't need the big Organiser, so I've decided to go for a little pencil case. Right, so this is the contents of the whole pencil case laid out. So we've got the Pocket Rocket 2 for the gas stove. We've got toothpaste, toothbrush. We've got a headlight, which I don't really plan on using that much. When it gets dark, I'll probably be all tucked up, sound asleep anyways. But yeah, we've got a headlight just in case. The Nikkor NU25. We've got a spark. We've got a couple of knots which will eventually go onto my ridgeline for the tarp. We've just got them there for now. We've got a lighter. We've got a ferro rod for emergencies and a little bit of tinder, some twine in case I need it. Now this is where the slight controversy comes into play. So if you've noticed yet, I've not mentioned a water filter, and I've decided not to go with one. Instead, what I'm going to do is go for the water purification tablets. I've never used them before, I don't know what they're like, but we're going to give them a go. So I have done this trip in the past with some mates, and what I found is I've very rarely used my water filter. I might have used it a little bit at the start, but once you get going and once you get thick into the mountains, that water is so fresh that I didn't use my water filter. I bring it, never used it, so I'm going to go without. But as a backup, we got the water purification tablets, and also if you notice my water bottle, it's the stainless steel water bottle, so I can always boil up my water as well. So I do have other methods to filter my water, but we're not actually going for the Soya Mini or whatever other gizmos there is out there. So there we go, that's the contents of the little pencil case Organiser. Now you'll notice as well, I've not mentioned that I brought a bag rain cover. I've actually took that out. Bearing in mind I have the poncho that goes over my backpack, but just for some extra protection, the things that I really need to keep dry, I've lined my bag with an actual bin bag as well. So that is the bottom half of this main compartment we're going to get to. So as you can see there, we've got the bin bag. So we've got multiple layers of waterproofness. So we've got the poncho, we've got the Sealy bags for the GoPro batteries and everything, and then we've got this big bin bag liner. So I think, touch wood, I am sorted when it comes to waterproofing my gear. But in this bin bag, in the bottom of the main compartment, we have the Decathlon down jacket. I talked about this in previous videos. I'm not going to get too much into my clothing. I've done a video recently talking about my budget clothing options, and my clothing for this trip is not going to change. I'm pretty happy. I know my limitations with that stuff, so I'm happy to just go out and use that stuff for this trip. But yeah, we've got the Decathlon down jacket in here. We've got an Anker power bank, again in one of them Sealy bags, so this is triple, quadruple protection here from the rain. If I wasn't taking my camera, I didn't have them GoPro batteries, I'd honestly leave a power bank behind and just turn my phone on once a day, turn it off. The West Highland Way is really well signposted, so you shouldn't be needing directions on your phone or anything like that. But there we go. Anyways, I'm taking it for the camera. Also in here, this is spare clothing. I'll lay that out and you can see what we're working with. So here we go, this is the spare clothing. Again, that is in a waterproof bag, so honestly I'll be sorted with waterproofness. We've just got some shorts. Be wearing my tracky bottoms when I start the hike, but I've got some shorts there if it is really hot. I've got a spare sports top as well, so I can switch them in and out, wash them in the streams and the lakes along the way. Again, with the boxers and socks, wash them, switch them in and out with what I'm wearing on the day I start the trail. And then lastly, we have my base layer, and this is what I'll be switching out at the end of the day when I go to sleep, just so I have some comfort when I go to bed. And we've got some merino wool from Decathlon leggings, and we've got a Man Active synthetic base layer top. So that's all the spare clothing, and then whatever I have on, like I said, I've done another video going more in depth of me hiking clothing and that, but this is my spare stuff. It's more than what I'd usually take, but a little bit extra comfort. There we go. Okay, and the final thing in my bag is, sorry, two things left in my bag. First up, we've got an air pillow. It's a Trekology one. They're very popular in the camping community. They're on Amazon, they're pretty cheap, they roll up to nothing, although I have mine just laid out flat on top of my sleeping bag, and look at that. You can imagine how it's sitting in my pack. It's not going to take up any bulk or anything in there. Now, I have a love-hate relationship with this pillow. It's perfect because of how light and small it packs down to, but I hate it. Let me show you why. And some people might think this is a good feature, but I don't like it. Is it kind of curves in, so your head is kind of just boom, stuck right in the center. So I like to wriggle about, move my head, adjust my pillow and that, but it forces your head just to sit directly, boom, right in the center of the pillow, and I don't like that. But there we go. I end up always carrying it with us just because of how budget friendly it is and how small it packs down to. Like, and you might have noticed with the poncho, I didn't have it in its stuff sack. I just shoved it in the bag. Again, with this pillow, it's not in its stuff sack, it's just laid on the bottom. My thought process with that is, I'm going for the Snug Pack Stratosphere, quick, super easy setup, pack it up, pitch it up, and with all these other options, not putting them in the stuff sacks, that I really want to just be boom, 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 quick on the go if I want to, quick setup if the rain comes down. So yeah, I'm trying to avoid the stuff sacks if I can. Anyways, last in the bag today is, no surprise if you're a follower of this channel, it's a Snug Pack hammock quilt. It's nice, it does the job. It'll get us down to about 1 to 0 degrees Celsius, so it's summertime at the moment, so I'll have no problem with this. I did lie in the Stratosphere a little bit for 10 minutes and I could feel the heat in there. So this bag and that setup, like, I'm pretty sure I'm going to be able to keep nice and warm throughout this trip. And there we have it, guys. That's the whole lot. That's everything I'm taking for the West Highland Way. Let me know your thoughts, what you think, if you do anything different. If you're watching this video when it first gets uploaded, I'll actually be en route to Scotland to do this hike, so please bear with me if I'm not responding as quickly to comments as what I usually would, but you know the crack, and how it is. If you want to keep up and follow along with this trip, I am going to try and post on the community tabs, maybe get a picture up there or just a few comments or whatever when I can. But yeah, if you want to follow along, please consider subscribing if you haven't already done so, and everyone who's already subscribed, thank you so much for your support. And yeah man, that's it now, all done, all packed, ready to go, enjoy myself. Come on, I'll see you on the other side in a bit.